Hey, movie fans! Ever wondered what it'd be like to know exactly what a woman is thinking without her even opening her mouth? Our hero in today's incredible story gets this mind-blowing ability, and you won't believe the lengths he goes to take advantage of it. Get ready for a wild ride. The ad man and the unexpected setback. Our tale begins with Nick Marshall, a slick professional working at a top-tier advertising agency in the US. Nick's formative years were spent in Las Vegas with his single mother, a showgirl, which meant he was constantly surrounded by glamorous women. Because of this background, he genuinely believes he's a master at understanding the female mind. Nick was married to a woman named Gigi, and they have a 15-year-old daughter, Alex. However, Nick never managed to forge a strong bond with Alex, and Gigi recently divorced him, remarrying a man named Ted. Despite his domestic situation, Nick is doing great at work. He's skilled and an absolute whiz at selling products to people. Even after his divorce, Nick's life is full of women. His current crush is Lola, a barista at a local coffee shop. Although he's confident in his ability to charm and woo women, he has no clue what truly goes on inside the heads of these beautiful ladies. Promotion snub and family duties. Nick heads into his office, fully expecting a major promotion. But his boss delivers a shocker. He explains that because American women are quickly becoming the dominant consumers of their advertised products, he has decided to give the creative director position to a woman, the incredibly sharp Darcy McGuire. The boss believes a woman, naturally, has the best insight into the work they do. Hearing this leaves Nick completely gutted. He thought he was the most deserving candidate for the job. Later, Gigi invites Nick to her wedding reception and drops a bombshell. She and her new husband are leaving for a 2-week honeymoon, meaning Nick will have to look after Alex. It's here he also discovers that Alex has a boyfriend named Cayman. Nick is strongly against his daughter dating, but Alex couldn't care less about his opinion, as he was rarely present in her life anyway. An idea for the ages, or not. The scene shifts to Darcy being introduced to all the employees. She gives a rousing speech, promising to work together to make the company #1 in the market. She then hands out boxes filled with assorted women's products to every employee, instructing them to return tomorrow with an idea to sell them. Back at his place, Nick tries desperately to brainstorm some selling concepts, but his mind is completely blank. In a moment of desperation, he opens Alex's bag, finds a pop music CD, and starts playing it. He then proceeds to test out the items in the box, one by one. As he attempts to put on a bra, Alex walks in with her boyfriend. Mortified, she sends Cayman home immediately. Nick tries to explain his experimentation to his daughter, but she angrily tells him off before retreating to her room. A shocking revelation. As Nick continues to try and figure out a campaign idea, he picks up a hairdryer. While goofing around with it, he slips, tumbles, and falls straight into the bathtub, which is full of water. Still clutching the powered-on hairdryer, he gets a massive electric shock and passes out right there. The next morning, his housekeeper wakes him up. Seeing the mess of women's products, she wonders what he was doing. Nick vaguely explains he was experimenting. The housekeeper remarks that she didn't say anything, but then her internal thoughts about a date she has planned flash in Nick's mind. He wishes her all the best, leaving her shocked, as she realizes she hadn't voiced a word. The inner world. Unlocked. Stepping outside, Nick is completely bombarded. As girls walk past him, he starts to hear their thoughts. One woman is annoyed about her broken coffee machine. Another is preoccupied with her boyfriend. The situation spirals when he gets to the office. It turns into a torrent of internal judgments. His female colleagues think he's a complete idiot. Some label him as gay, and others mock his appearance. Surrounded by a flood of inner voices, Nick finally grasps the reality. He can hear what women are thinking, but why this is happening is a mystery to him. This newfound ability reveals some troubling secrets. A colleague named Aaron is contemplating suicide, and his secretary, Annie, is deeply unhappy working for the company and is using the office phone to make calls to her boyfriend as a form of petty revenge. A dangerous game begins. Tired of the constant mental chatter, Nick tries to figure out how to shut it off. He even grabs a phone book and flips through it, finding a therapist's number. When Darcy passes by, Nick uses his new power to instantly know what women want, charming her and giving her great advice about an upcoming pitch. Upon returning home, Nick catches Alex and Cayman in an intimate moment. Enraged, he chases the boyfriend away. His daughter is furious, verbally attacking him because he has never been there for her. What? Overwhelmed by the constant stream of negative thoughts directed at him, Nick becomes desperate. He goes outside in the rain and intentionally touches the hairdryer again, hoping another shock will revert him to normal. It doesn't work. Embracing the superpower. Nick visits a therapist. Initially skeptical, the therapist is stunned when Nick accurately tells her exactly what she's thinking. She comes around and explains that Nick is the luckiest man alive, a genius at understanding women's desires, and he could use this power to conquer the world. This insight sparks a realization in Nick, and a wide grin spreads across his face. He immediately uses his power to impress his crush Lola, telling her precisely what she wanted to hear. He asks her out, and she accepts. Back at the agency, he starts building bridges with his colleagues. He gives Annie a thoughtful message for her boyfriend and helps Erin with her work. He then approaches Darcy and uses his mind reading to discover she's working on a secret project to secure the company. A father-daughter bond. During their conversation, Darcy finds out Nick has a daughter going to prom. Knowing how important a prom dress is to a young woman, Darcy encourages Nick to help Alex pick hers out. Nick returns home to find Alex talking about the prom with her two friends. At first, Alex's friends mentally judge him as a typical mean dad. But Nick offers to take Alex shopping for her prom dress, instantly transforming his image in their eyes. He also apologizes to Alex for his overprotective behavior. Nick takes Lola out on a date, using his power to make it the most perfect, special night of her life. They head back to her apartment. Initially, he struggles to perform, and Lola mentally curses him. When Nick focuses and listens to her thoughts, he adjusts, and Lola is utterly impressed and delighted. Career, romance, and guilt. Nick begins to focus more on female consumers, refining his understanding of them by listening and talking to women. He starts spending increasing amounts of time with Darcy, using his power to steal her ideas and presenting them as his own, making Darcy believe they have incredible chemistry and similar perspectives. Unsurprisingly, Darcy starts to develop feelings for him. Crucially, Nick's relationship with his daughter begins to improve. He helps her pick out her dress, finally building a connection with her. Over dinner, he shares a genuine concern, telling Alex he suspects her boyfriend is just using her, and she shouldn't feel pressured to rush into anything. Alex gets upset, accusing him of being an overprotective dad, but thanks him for the dress before leaving. The truth hits hard. While with Darcy, she opens up about her ex-husband. Listening to her inner thoughts, Nick realizes she has a painful past. They grow closer and share a kiss, but now, having spent so much time with Darcy, Nick realizes he's actually falling in love with her. The realization hits him. He has been cheating by listening to her thoughts all along. After Darcy leaves, Nick spots Lola outside. She's furious and heartbroken because he hasn't contacted her since their night together. Feeling immense guilt and needing to get rid of her, he blurts out that he's gay, claiming he would have married her otherwise. Confused but convinced, Lola accepts his words and leaves. Redemption and a second shock. On the day of the presentation, Nick is racked with guilt over stealing Darcy's ideas. He urges her to pitch the idea herself, but she refuses, saying it's his work. Before the meeting, Nick runs into Erin. He finally learns that the reason she was suicidal was because of him. He had kept her in the same position for 2 years. Nick's presentation is a success. He wins the contest and impresses all the board members. While he gets all the credit, he feels terrible about betraying Darcy, and he begins to draft a letter of apology. Darcy then arrives and takes him to her newly purchased house, showing him around. They share a beautiful, intimate moment, growing even closer. The next day, Nick meets with his boss, who promotes him to creative director. But the boss also reveals he fired Darcy, believing she didn't contribute during the meeting. Nick feels worse than ever, admitting the entire idea was Darcy's and demanding the boss rehire her. He leaves immediately to find Darcy. Suddenly, he realizes that Aaron hasn't shown up for work, instantly fearing the worst. As he rushes to her apartment, lightning strikes a utility pole near him, causing a big flash. "My daughter, my dad." He arrives at Erin's place, finds a suicide note, but is relieved to find her still there. Confessing his error, he tells her he's promoting her, which makes her overjoyed. During their conversation, Nick realizes he can no longer hear her thoughts. The electric shock from the lightning strike has made him normal again. He rushes to Darcy's house, which is locked, leading him to believe she's not home. He leaves a desperate voicemail confessing his feelings and drives off. Suddenly, Gigi calls, frantic because Alex is missing. A worried Nick heads straight to the prom and finds Alex crying in the restroom. She tells him her boyfriend broke up with her and left. Nick comforts her, telling her how proud he is. His words finally make her feel better. As she leaves the restroom, she calls him Dad, for the first time, asking him to take her home. The next scene shows Nick lovingly tucking Alex into bed. An honest confession. Late that night, Nick returns to Darcy's house. This time, he finds her home. He tells her the absolute truth, how he was shocked, how he gained the power to hear women's thoughts, and how he used it to steal her ideas for the promotion. He also opens up about his true feelings. He explains that while he used a fraudulent advantage, it led him to develop a genuine deep love for her. As Nick turns to leave, Darcy stops him. She tells him she forgives him and, more importantly, that she loves him too. They share a passionate kiss, bringing their story to a heartfelt close.